entertainment, it is now one of the fastest growing sectors in technology, driving innovation in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, virtual reality, and digital content creation. Now, in Nigeria, a growing community of gamers, developers, and esports enthusiasts is beginning to tap into the opportunities the industry offers. But can the country become one of the major players in the global gaming economy? Today on the show, we'll be discussing the future of the gaming industry, exploring the opportunities, challenges, and innovations shaping gaming in Nigeria. I'm joined by Nsikan Unoh, who is a gaming enthusiast. Nsikan, thank you for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, first of all, gaming has become so popular in Nigeria now. How has it evolved from just a leisure activity into one of the world's biggest technology industries?
I think one way is through accessibility. A lot of people are able to access video games right now a lot more than before.
Mm,
Like, for instance, I'm sure when you were growing up, you had games, but it's not as widespread or as easily accessible as today. Like, for instance, almost everyone has a mobile phone, so anyone can get
yeah.
into gaming if they want to.
Mm. Interesting. You can watch us live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook at Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. You can watch us live on Facebook and drop your questions or comments there. Now, what factors do you think are driving the rapid growth of the gaming industry globally?
Well, I think a factor is just getting people interested, like how many people are actually interested in playing games, for instance,
Mm,
and also how much time people have these days to get into the gaming space. For like these
mm,
days, a lot of people work a lot of hours, a lot of long hours, so they don't really have time to get into gaming.
mm.
But I believe that things such as time that you have personally, and also how interesting the games are today, those are factors that can increase or decrease the amount of people playing video
But
games.
okay, now, but what do you think personally, makes young people, particularly young people, get interested in gaming? What are those factors, apart from those who work? There are still a lot of young people who are into
Yeah.
gaming. What are those factors that get them, interested in gaming? Different kind of games. You see the ones, the virtual reality and the rest of them.
I think for young people, a very big
Yeah.
factor is content creators. Like you see people like
Mm,
Kalamanja, people like a lot of other bigger YouTubers or streamers who
yeah.
play video games, and they see young people see these guys play these games, and they want to play the
Mm,
games as well. So I believe that people who create content for games are a very big factor when it comes to young people playing games.
yeah. Now, but do you think Nigeria has what it takes to become a major player in the global gaming market?
I believe so. I think we do because we have the talent. We have a lot of talented
Mm,
programmers. We have a lot of talented artists. We even have a lot of talented game developers in Nigeria.
mm.
So I believe that if that number keeps growing, and if hopefully in the future infrastructure gets better, then we will see a very big game come out of this country eventually.
Mm, interesting. Now, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing Nigeria's gaming industry today?
I feel like probably definitely the biggest one is costs, because in Nigeria, the most popular games are usually mobile games. Like, for instance, COD Mobile is probably one of the most popular games in Nigeria because almost everyone has a smartphone, but not everyone has a
Yeah.
PlayStation to go and play Fortnite or to go play
Mm,
PUBG on PlayStation or on PC, even. And even if you do have that, not everyone has uh, good internet to be able to play outside of Europe, because for most games the servers are actually not in Africa, they're in Europe, so you have to play on those servers. So
mm.
internet, and as well as just like the general cost of getting into mainstream gaming is a bit much these days.
Interesting. It's still today's tech show, and this is the Tech Talk segment. I'm discussing with Nsikan Unoh. We're discussing the future of gaming in Nigeria and globally. You can watch us live on Facebook at today 95.1 FM. Now, Nsikan, how can gaming create jobs and let's say business opportunities for Nigerian youths?
Well, as I said before, there are a lot of upcoming people. There are a lot of upcoming people who want to create games. So, for instance, if you have somebody who comes up and says, "Hey, I want to make this game. I need programmers. I need artists. I need people who will help build the security system of the game. If it's an online game,
Yeah,
it's like that."
yeah.
So it's stuff like if you're able to promote yourself in a way as a game developer that okay, this game actually has a future, people will get interested and that will create more jobs.
Mm. Okay, okay. That means if let's talk about software developers, designers, and animators. They are major players in growing this industry.
Yeah, of course they are usually they're usually the big a very big part of game development, especially the animators and the programmers. those
Yeah.
two those two people are very important when it comes to creating games. So if you can get those people on board, then you can even scale upwards and have more of them come into your
Mm,
company, and that creates more and more jobs.
mm. I was even thinking sometime last week when I decided to look at this topic. Do you think locally developed games based on Nigerian culture, history, and folklore? Do you think it will succeed globally if such games are developed?
Oh yes, 100%, definitely. We have so many different cultures in Nigeria that you can't. It's impossible to say that it can't be a success, because if you can tell me that Greek mythology, like I'm sure you've heard of God of War, the God of War
Yes,
game.
yes, yes.
Yeah, the God
Yeah.
of War games, which are based on Greek mythology, if those can
Mhm.
become popular, then why can't ours become popular? If Egyptian mythology can become popular, then why can't ours become popular as well? Because we have a very
Mm,
large variety of cultures and a large variation of types of people here. So I think our mythology does have a lot of interesting folklore characters in it. So it is very possible for a game like that to come out of Nigeria and do very well.
interesting. So, how is artificial intelligence changing game development and the gaming experience? How is it changing it?
This was a bit of a touchy thing for me, to be honest, because on one hand, on one hand, AI can help speed up the process of game
Yeah.
development, of course, but on the other hand, I feel like using too much AI in your game development or in any sort of development takes
Yeah.
away the soul that the game has. Like a lot of games that you resonate with, they have pretty much no AI in them,
Yeah.
because it's humans telling a story. So I do believe that in the aspects of, let's say, coding, AI
Mm,
can probably be used there and can help. But in aspects such as like creating designs, making art for the game, creating your own unique art style,
yeah.
AI doesn't really help, because AI doesn't create, it just takes ideas and then just squashes them together. Like, for instance, you can, for me, let me speak for myself. Like, there are some games
Mm,
that I will look at one scene, and because of how unique the art style is, I will know what game it is without you telling me.
mm,
That's
interesting.
just how good it can be when it's just a human creating certain parts of the game. On
Mm.
terms of the player, though, I don't think AI has any sort of benefits in my. That's just my opinion, though. You can all have Everyone has their own opinion.
Yes, yes, everyone does. Everyone
Everyone.
does. Now, but do you think eventually AI could replace some of the role currently performed by human game developers?
It's hard to say, honestly, because to say that it can completely replace them would be. I don't think it will ever completely replace humans, because you can see in companies which use AI for their anti-cheats, because online games have a anti-cheat system in them, so that people don't go in there and cheat, so they have a competitive advantage over others. So you can see in games like what's that game called? I think it's Valorant or League of Legends, one of them. It was actually destroying people's PC because AI was like flagging things that weren't really cheats, and there was no human intervention. So people's PCs were actually getting destroyed because of this. So I don't think AI can completely replace humans, but it does have a place in game development.
Interesting. Interesting, Nsika. Now, esports has become a billion-dollar industry already around the world. Do you think Nigeria is investing enough in competitive gaming and esports infrastructure?
Currently, no, we're not investing enough because it's not real. We don't really have any large bodies who are investing. It's mostly just people who are passionate about esport, like individuals who are passionate about esports who have the capital to scale an esports team to go out and play
Mm,
games.
mm, interesting. This question I'm about to ask you, it's a common problem people are facing in Nigeria. I'm sorry.
Mm.
What impacts do you think poor internet connectivity and unstable power supply have on gaming growth in Nigeria?
No, it has. I think it's probably for us in Nigeria, it's the biggest factor that we
Yeah.
have. It's the biggest issue we have because when you think about it, a lot of the games which are popular, a lot of those type of games are played online, and of course, you need good internet in order to play those games. Like for instance, Fortnite. Fortnite is a one of the biggest games on the planet right now, and you need an internet
Mm,
connection to play with your friends. And also power constraints. That's why the power constraints thing is also why uh, mobile gaming is very important because people can just play on their data and play on their phone on a separate
mm,
battery and not have to worry about, oh, NEPA takes lights. Then my I've lost this game if NEPA takes lights. I don't have to worry about that. You get so
mm,
so like power constraints as well as internet access are two. I think after costs, those two are definitely the biggest factors of stopping Nigeria of having large gaming communities, I would say.
mm. Interesting. But can cloud gaming help Nigerians access high quality games without expensive gaming consoles and computers?
You see, yes, and also no. Because yes,
Okay.
because cloud gaming is an amazing creation. I forgot the one that Nvidia created that's owned by Nvidia, but with cloud gaming you can play any game whether your laptop has a CPU from 5 years ago or a GPU from 10 years ago or whatever. It doesn't matter because it's run on someone else's server thousands of kilometers away from you. But then the
Mm,
issue now is how far away are you from that server, as well as how good is your internet.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that brings us back to our other issue of like, oh, Nigeria has a lot of like bad internet issues, so cloud
Mm.
gaming can't really help us much. And that's at least that's what I think. I don't think cloud gaming can really help us much.
Ntika, you know very well that in Nigeria, most times we consider gaming entirely as gambling in Nigeria. Because most times, whether some of the security agencies, we heard that some of them even go to some of the gaming centers to arrest people, for gambling and all that. Do you think it's time that the Nigerian government recognize gaming as a strategic technology and creative industry?
Yes, it should be taken advantage of. These type of things that are these type of, let's say, mini industries should be
Mm,
taken advantage of by the government, because if they see that, oh, a lot of people are passionate about playing games and they're
yeah,
willing to put money willingly into this, they can be like, okay, let's intervene, and then they can do this legally and then generate more money. So some of the money goes to the government, some of the money stays with the businesses which organize these things. So I do
yeah.
believe that it does have a place for the government to come in and also help expand the industry here.
Okay, now what lessons do you think Nigeria can learn from countries that have already built a successful gaming industry?
That it is very profitable. I think that's probably the biggest lesson that that they can learn, that we can learn, that it is a very profitable industry to get into, and it
Mm,
does more good than it does harm, in my opinion,
mm,
at least.
mm. Interesting, interesting. Now, before I ask you my next question, I would love to know, you talked about doing more good than harm. Some parents and some families, you hear them complain that some of the kids spend their entire income or pocket money on gaming. Sometimes they even lose sleep at night that can lead to health issues. These are some of the reasons or concerns that are raised by parents and guardians and even government officials too. So, what do you have to say about that?
I believe that with everything, it's all about control. For instance, if you can see that, oh, your child is playing games too much, instead of like
Hmm.
taking away the, like just cutting them off from it,
Yeah.
try to give them ultimatums. For instance, oh yeah, if you get these good grades at the end of the term, oh yeah, you can play your game, blah blah blah, I don't care. But if you don't get these grades, I'm taking away your console. You cannot play game again in this house until you get your grades up. Give them ultimatums. And I will say, yes, gaming addiction is a very big problem. It's not something that you should just that I should just laugh off. It is a serious thing.
Hmm.
People do stay up. Like I remember someone in China. I think it was in China. They died. They died on at a gaming cafe because they just kept playing games, kept playing, and forgot about their health, and then died of dehydration. So, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was a case somewhere of someone
Hmm.
dying at an internet cafe because they were playing games for too long and they neglected their health. So I do believe that gaming can cause harm. It can, as with pretty much everything. Too much of it can cause harm. But I believe that if you're able to control it, then the benefits outweigh the problems. Like for me, right? I play games to de-stress myself from
Hmm.
like for instance, this morning. This morning, I won't lie. This morning was let's just say it wasn't it. This morning wasn't it. So what I did was I just let's just put it that way for so that we don't
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
So this morning wasn't it. So what I did was I opened my laptop. I played Hollow Knight, and I before I knew it, after like 30 minutes or an hour, I forgot that I was even having a bad morning, and then I could continue working from there. So I do believe that it does have a place to help as much as it does have a place to do harm.
Interesting. Now, do you think that the reason why parents and guardians are not able to checkmate their kids or their peers or their kids at home is because of poor digital literacy in Nigeria? Do you think poor digital literacy is also inhibiting parents and guardians from checkmating what kids do in terms of the number of hours they play their games and all that?
Yes, technical literacy does play a part in it because if you don't know how a PS4 works, how will you know that there's parental controls on it for you to lock your child away from it for a certain amount of time? If you don't know
Mm,
that your child knows the password to the parental control, like if you don't have systems in place, if you don't know about the systems, then you can't have the systems put in place. So technical literacy does have a play a big part. Like I remember I used to play games a lot when I was younger, and my dad hated that. My dad didn't like that I played so many games. So what he did
yeah.
was he deleted my games, but he didn't delete them properly. He only deleted the shortcuts. So the games were still there. So I was just there pretending in the back, like, "Oh no, Daddy, no, don't delete the game, please, please." But then when he deleted the games, I just took my laptop back upstairs and continued playing my game. So I do So I do believe that technical literacy is
Mm,
a big factor when it comes to regulating how much your children can play games.
interesting. My final question to you, Nsikan. Now, looking ahead, let's say 2035, what will the gaming question? Let's say in 2035, what gaming industry look like? Now, where do you see Nigeria fitting into that future? That's the second part of the question.
Okay, so in 2035, I believe that the general gaming industry will change a lot. In general, it will
Mm,
change a lot.
mm,
I remember days when you couldn't have a successful game unless you were a big company. But now
mm,
that's just not true anymore. You can have a successful game and be one person. For instance, there's this game
mm,
called Stardew Valley, which was made by one person, and it's outsold games that were made with tens of millions of dollars of budgets. Meanwhile, he just sat in his room and just coded the game himself and put it on Steam, and millions upon millions of people bought the game. So just because just seeing that shift of people going away from
mm.
big companies to liking the games themselves, it things I can't say what will happen in 2035, but I can say that it will be drastically different from what we have today.
Nsikan Unoh, gaming enthusiast, thank you for joining me on this segment of the show.
Thank you for having me.